Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday. Yes, Solo, it's Thursday. It's 8:30-ish. Yeah, I'm hosting, so guess what? My timekeeping isn't as great as OMONDI. So look, it's us, it's the agenda, we're live. Let's talk Frankie de Jong. Let's get the juices flowing. Before we get started, I've already said my apologies. We've got two special guests on here with no faces, but look, you've got my you can see my beautiful face. So look, let's get this show going. Talk. Long time no see. How you doing, big man?
Do you just refer to me as a guest, Mr. B?
No, did I say guest? Did I say guest? Oh, no, I can't rewind. Yeah. I can't rewind it now. So, but you're not my guest. You're my partner in crime. Come on now.
Yeah, man. It's all good, bro. It's all good. Yeah, it's been a good day. I think weather's cooled down somewhat up in the north, and I'm liking it because I tell you what, the other night, man, could I sleep? Whoa, no way. Tossing and turning, rolling and falling off the bed, and all sorts of madness. Honestly, trying to find cold spots, fell off the bed, bro. Can you imagine that? I'm telling you, you think I'm joking, I ain't. But right, listen. I think is it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday is going to be like 30 odd, even in the
34.
North. Yeah, 34, 35. It's going to be absolute madness talk.
Oh, mate, I tell you what, I don't cope well in the heat, bro.
Yeah, same.
What is the matter with you lot? Come on, Brush. I don't want to hear the same. Come on now. You're going to tell me you're not enjoying the sunshine, right?
Nah, it's too much for me, man. I like it around the mid-20s.
What are you lot doing? We'd have not enough sunshine in this country. We've had.
You know what? I keep thinking to myself, do you know what? Every year I keep saying to myself, you know what? I need to get one of those air conditioned units. And then I talk myself out of it because we've only got sun for about 2 weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
But every time the 2 weeks roll around, I'm like, I should have done it.
I know. Do you know what? Can I just say, I'll also, do you know what? Just a big sort of like warning here to everybody. The sun, right? Listen, I read an article. This lady, she bought Nivea Factor 50 for her daughter or something. Yeah, rubbed it all over her back and her shoulders and all the jazz. Let her play in the garden. She was out for like less than 10 minutes, and next thing she'd come in, crying her eyes out, saying, "My back's on fire." So her mum's like, "What's the matter with you?" So she turned her around and I looked, and she was like red as a lobster. And right before her eyes, she started blisters started forming before her eyes, like massive, horrible blisters. And she took photos and all the rest of it, and then got in touch with the manufacturers of the thing. And I don't know what the outcome of it was, but I think the gist of the story is that the sun, them whatever it is, them UV rays are seriously powerful. So everybody, man, when you're out in that sunshine, man, you got to take care. You got to slap that stuff on, or just stay out of it between 1 and 3 o'clock or something, where it's at its highest.
Yeah, they've put out weather warnings as well going into next week.
Yeah, serious, man. Mr. B, when you go out in your van, bro, make sure you say it like bare water, man. You need to like.
I cannot wait until it hits 34. I know business. Bro. I have no issue. I've been working all week in this 27, 28. My day off, I want it to be hotter than when I was working. Let's not get it twisted. Look, we're talking about all this hot weather. Maybe Frankie should have been coming over here and seeing us now. He wouldn't have been worried about all of this Spanish. Oh, he's going to be coming here to the rain. We should have got him over here. Look, the Frankie de Jong.
Mr. B, hold on a minute. That'll be like proper trades. What is it? Misdescriptions. That's like misdescriptions. That's in it. You bring him over now and go, look, it's Manchester. Not the Andale. The Trafford Centre. Look at the sun. It's brilliant. And he's like, yeah, I'm having some of that. Right? Take him to the local swimming baths. And then when all the deals done and gone through in like January, he comes over and it's like, brrr. You know what I mean? As we know, it's like, brrr.
Good. Full self, as long as we get him over here, mate, it doesn't matter what it takes. Look, the Saga's been drifting on. Today's been confirmed. I was hoping it was going to be a big, massive big, massive. You know, he's on his way. He's jumping on a plane. But look, we've agreed. Obviously, we had agreed earlier on in the month with a 85 million pound all-in-all deal, 65 million pound up front. We've now changed it to 75 million up front and 10 million in add-ons. I'm going to ask Brush first of all. What do you see in this change? I've got a thought in my mind, but I want to know: do you think that we've upped the bid to?
Yeah, I think what it is. I think Barca obviously want more money up front, so that's the difference. Now, whether they use that to pay De Jong what he's owed or not, that's a different story. It's been absolute chaos this week. You know, different reports coming out with different things. We've heard from his agent recently. His agent said that he doesn't want to leave. He's reluctant to leave. Barca, though, do need to make a sale. And the latest I've heard is that they may even consider leaving him out of the plane for the tour of the USA that the team are going on. So they're obviously trying to force him out. I think the issue is around his contract and how much they owe him.
Talk?
Well, yeah, I mean, look, it's this now between Man United and Barca, them saying, they're going, right, yeah, well, we're sorted, aren't we now? You know, you're going to give us X amount of money, great. And they're both sat there now looking at Frankie de Jong with their arms crossed, like, well, you know, it's up to you now, kid. And he's not, you know, he doesn't necessarily have to bow to their instructions at this stage, nor you know, just because we want him and all that, we don't have to, he doesn't have to leave. These two agents being involved as well, I think is a problem, because surely there's gains for them to be had, you know, in the money that is owed. You know what I mean? So
well, they must be taking what you're saying, that they want their cut of their 15 million euros, yeah?
Well, it's more than that, isn't it? That they owe him actually. I don't know what
I think just base salary alone, they owe him something like 17 million euros. So I can understand why he's digging his heels in and waiting.
But I mean, that's a lot of dough, isn't it? We even split between 3 people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't blame him for that.
So okay, I'm going to look at it from a Man United point of view. Obviously, you know, this is a player who, you know, we spent 2.5 months chasing. Surely the conversations that he's had with Ten Hag mean privately that he wants to come. I can't believe that he would be spinning Ten Hag a yarn for 2.5 months to say, oh, he's going to come, and then he suddenly changes his mind. So maybe this digging in is him telling them, look, you know, sort out the deal. Obviously, it's sour from their end. They want him gone. He obviously doesn't want to come to the beautiful, shiny, you know. Yeah, so well, the sun's going in now, so maybe he's not checking the internet now to have a look.
Yeah. He's got spies here, Mr. B. He's got spies here, and he's like, yeah, what's going on there right now? And they're like, oh, it's getting a bit cooler now. The sun's going down. You know what I mean? But
what's crazy for me is the fact that it's not even De Jong. There's so many other players as well, like PK, for example, that Barca owe money to, and yet they've got money to go and bid for the likes of Lewandowski, and Rafinha just got done this week. It's mad. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I can understand why he feels like a shit.
Yeah,
we've got this here to read, so let's go through this and what this is telling us. So FC Barcelona, they've told Frankie de Jong he must leave the club and join Man United. A report from Spain. It was reported by transfer guru Fabrizio Romano earlier today that the two clubs have finally after 14 weeks, maybe 15, reached full agreement over a 75 million plus 10 deal. However, the player is owed 17 million in back pay and has so far refused to move or take a pay cut to stay. And now, according to Mundo Deportivo, the club whose president insists last weekend want to keep the Dutchman have given him his marching orders. FC Barcelona have told Frankie de Jong that they want him to leave in this summer market. The outlet reports Barca and United have an agreement in principle for the transfer fee, blah, 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 euros, plus a bonus. A bonus? They need to be more specific on a bonus. What sort of bonus is that? With which they could reach over 80. The offer satisfies the Barca club for what it implies on the income, and also for what would be saved if De Jong leaves. So maybe this bonus bit here, is that, I don't know, maybe that's a part of the something to sweeten the deal in terms of either a signing on fee that can cover some of this money that is going to be lost. And then, do you know the question I've got here is, if I was working for a company and they're kind of in a bit of trouble and they're going, "Oh, can't pay you this month," and they do that for a while and then they owe me loads of money. They whatever happens, surely they owe me that money if I stay or go. If Frankie de Jong leaves Barcelona, have they put something in his contract that says if you leave, we can just write that money off? Or I don't know. I don't quite understand how that works, because you would expect him to be able to say, right, okay, look, if Man United give me 10 million signing on fee, that leaves 7 outstanding. And that 10 million signing on fee has obviously been worked between Man United and Barca and Frankie, so that it's like a sweetener.
I think what's happened is around the COVID time, when all the players were asked to take these deferrals, they basically reworked the contract so that they were on less money during that time, but then with the promise of adding that money on in future years. So he was meant to earn more now, starting from now onwards, for the remainder of his contract. So I think that's the problem.
So he's on. So the increase is what? Because obviously his wages now, they were saying, goes up to 18 million euros this year.
It is something mental, mate.
And then goes up again next year. So I mean, if they commit, this is the part that I don't understand with Barcelona. So
they basically need to. They basically need to pay him some kind of severance to make up for those losses that he's missed out on, which they don't want to do. It's silly.
Crazy, that, isn't it? It's actually, all right. I'm trying to work out here. Then is if they. So what basically this is then is, so really it's not backdated wages. Then is this future earnings that he could leave? He could have. If he was to
that's the way they've structured it basically. So it is backdated, but the way they try to structure it is that it will be in future. It will be incentivized for the future basically. So it only works out if he stays.
That's weird. All right, that's right. I get it now. Then, so
which is why he's saying, all right, well, just run me the money that you owe me for the time that I took the deferral for me to leave, but that's not happening. It's it's a mess, is what it is.
We'll talk about leaving before everybody else leaves in here. I should have big up all of you guys in the chat. Sorry, we were nattering. I'm new to hosting. Look, comments are here. Could we go for a couple of comments? If you are new to the channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Cheers.
Yeah,
if you are new, sorry, one sec. Talk before you go. If you are new, don't be silent. Just wave, say hi, and let us know where you're watching from. Obviously, not you, Bath Time and Ollie. We know you guys already. We're talking about the new guy. Look, I see Andy Long on here. Andy, where are you watching from? Stuff like that. Anyway, sorry, Talk. Keep mumbling. Sorry, brother.
No, it's all good. We got FC United Forever in the building. Also, she was asking about the previous stream. Don't think she could find it, so we've remedied that. We've got Solo as well. We got Vincent Bullock, Eddie's Football Waffle. 14 likes. Keep hitting the likes up, guys. Yeah, and if you are new, please do hit the subscribe button. We do appreciate it. We got our own Rebel in the building. Evening, folks. Colm O'Connor. Evening all. Rebel again. Hopefully Friday yields the end of the Frankie too long saga. One way or the other. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to hold my breath though, if I want to see it, to be fair. The show is late. Sorry, guys. Vincent, sorry we're late, bro. Talk and Mr. B just applying the makeup. How did you know? We've got a mole in the building. Someone's leaking information out, Mr. B. I'm not happy about it. Don't go to Rebel, right? Rebel's your agent. Don't go to Rebel. Come and see us, right? Just like Ten Hag. We're adopting Ten Hag's style now. So yeah, so like you say, you got Andy Long as well in the building. We got CeeLo, 2000 HD Gamer. Thought it was 2032 because it feels like a decade since the news came out.
It's ridiculous.
GMS Limited, thanks to you as well. Mark Gemini, Zidane Iqbal is the future. Good evening, all. Yeah, you know what? He definitely helped his cause, didn't he, for knocking on, getting into the squad.
Young Charlie Savage too. They both look good.
Yeah, I mean, what I liked, I'll be quickly whilst it's there and talking about it. What I liked about them was when they first come on, they did seem a little nervy. Obviously, they would do, and I don't know which one of them. One of them made a mistake. I think it might have been Charlie Savage, and I remember saying on the watch along, "Oh, you know, he's going to have to learn from that right now quickly, because obviously, as we've said many times, learning from your mistakes in game is key as a youth player, and that's one of the big things that Ten Hag is all about." And what did he do? He didn't make a mistake again. So he learned from it. And that was very good to see. So that only shows me there's good communication between manager and player. Ola Kunle's in the building, 007. License to thrill. He says, if Eriksen gets his signings, will United make top 4? As in Martinez, Frankie de Jong, Anthony? I don't think so. I think you get 6th, but you won a trophy already. He's taking a mickey there. We won the most expensive McDonald's toy ever created, right? I don't think there was any Happy Meals given out, but we got the toy. But you know what? Listen, it was a great performance, and in terms of our finishing position next season, I've already said it. Any European spot and a good cup run for his first season, but we've consistently improved football. I'm happy with that, right? There's something to build on. Right, we have to keep on an upward trajectory on this one, and that's all I'll say as it stands. Amp Projects was with us as well. The De Jong situation is the biggest joke ever. Yeah. David Ornstein just retweeted his tweet about De Jong. Oh, what's that? Can someone check that out? We've got bath time in the building. All right, lads, he says. Bath time, do me a favour, will you? Explain rest defence for me, because I'm confused, man.
Not now. Not now.
GMS Limited. That's a little in-joke between me and Monday and Bath Time. Anwar AH is in the building. He says, Man United is very slow and boring on the transfer window. Yeah, I mean...
Nothing changes.
Yeah, nothing changes. Bath Time's saying, bro, this is too British to have a United channel having a 10-minute chat about the weather. Well, that's what we're doing. You've got the barbers. You've got the barbers. You know what I mean? Yeah, all right. Well, you know, how are you doing? Yeah, been busy. Yeah, and then you run out of stuff, don't you? And if they don't like football, which mine don't, when I go, I'm stuffed. I'm like, right, okay, I don't know what to talk about now.
My barber's the best. Also, my barber talks to you about everything.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, you know, there's stuff that you can't repeat on here that you talk about. But Andy Long saying, too hot or too cold, too wet or too windy. Always got something to mourn about with the weather in the UK. Do you know what? Yeah, because, but what I will say is, yeah, I love it when it's really hot and everything. The only thing I don't like is like the sticky nights where you can't sleep. But I do like the seasons. The seasons for me are great. I couldn't live somewhere where it was just like constantly warm. No, I couldn't deal with that.
What's the matter with you? Look, cut these messages, brush. Come on, man. Come on, talk to this guy for me, man. Come on, the sun's out. We got a new shirt release on Saturday. Come on, guys. Not that we're gonna be buying one, but no.
Rush, what do you reckon? Would you want to live somewhere where it's like constantly pretty warm and hot all the time?
No, I like the seasons, man. I like my hoodies.
Yes, exactly, Mr. B. You're outnumbered, bro. So that's where we have to cut that one. Vincent's in the building as well. He says, with all this hot weather talk, I think I'm going to go and take a cold bath. Yeah, man, do that. Just do it. But Vincent coming all the way there from the far-flung corners of Birmingham, I think. Am I right there, Vincent? I think you're from Birmingham. Bath time saying, to be fair, 38 on Tuesday is too hot. Yeah. If I wanted to be that hot, I'd live in Sevilla. Nice. Okay, I think that's it for the moment, Mr. B. We will move on. I will just highlight some more and then we'll get back to it.
All right, look, I'm going to ask you a question. How much longer do we give this deal? This is to you, Brush. Frankie's obviously...
Listen, we've invested way too much time into this. I see this dragging all the way to the end of the window.
Are we disappointed? Are we going to be disappointed if he doesn't come on any of the preseason games? Is there a cut-off where you would like to see him actually turn up? I was looking at a couple of the dates here for the games that we've got. Wrong piece of luck. We've got Melbourne tomorrow. We've got the Villa game on the 23rd. We've got Crystal Palace. No, tell a lie. We've got Melbourne. We've then got Crystal Palace. We've got Villa. And then we've got Atletico. Question. I'm looking on there. We've got 2 games in 2 days, 30th and 31st. Atletico and Valerenga. Is that right?
Must be. Yeah. And that's why he took such a huge squad. I mean, you know, he can play 2 squads, no problem.
Sorry, talk. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, he can play 1 squad, then another, and that's part of what we're doing here in pre-season is the fitness and something else that he mentioned, which we'll get onto a little bit later on. So I don't want to give any spoilers.
Yeah, I was just going to say I've got more faith in Martinez making 1 or 2 of those games.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that one. But and in the same breath, we've got to consider it that Frankie de Jong is, he plays lots of different positions and plays them well. So box to box, DM, left back, defender. He's played everything. Frankie de Jong under Erik ten Hag when he was at Ajax. So from his point of view, Erik ten Hag, I don't think it's such a necessity for him to actually have him there right now, because he knows exactly. He's already got the picture of de Jong. So when he's watching what he's putting out now, he can quite easily work out and go, you know what, right? If Frankie de Jong was to be playing here, I know this would work, or I know that'd work, or it wouldn't. If you know what I mean, he'll know which players would work and which won't work with Frankie de Jong because he knows him so well. So I don't think it's such a big deal. I think the main thing is for us to just get this done, and we have to kind of. I think with the ultimatum that we put down, obviously did work because it's now been agreed between Barca and us. All we can do now is Man United is just sit back and relax, wait for Frankie to make his mind up. Everything that needs to be said has been said. Do you know what I mean?
Pretty much. I think the one thing though, from watching, obviously it's only a friendly, but watching that game the other day, you get a better idea of how Frankie would fit into that team, and he would fit in wonderfully in our midfield.
Yeah, without a doubt. And Martinez, yeah. I mean, this guy is. Well, we're going to get onto him next, so we'll leave that for the moment. But yeah,
and
like I say,
also, I mean, yeah, when we look at the scoreline as well, I know it was very flattering, but there were some key issues that were clear to see in defense and midfield. So those things would need to be addressed.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, there's so many things also still that we didn't quite get right in terms of like the counter press, for example.
Yeah, and Ten Hag was very honest about that as well. He didn't get gassed up by the scoreline. He said there was many things that still need to be improved on.
Yeah, and I think the counter pressing bit of it is yes, that's going to take a little bit of time for the team to kind of.
I think what was nice for me though, was to see some of these players actually show that they've still got a bit about them. Ones that maybe we've completely just ruled out.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the organization. I think they've got to get to the understanding of the organization.
Yeah, because I put my hands up. Martial, I was done with him, totally done. But and obviously it's only pre-season, but hopefully he can take some sort of form going into the season.
Yeah, I'm pretty. Do you know what? I'm going to give him. I'm with Brush on this one, Mr. B. I think I'm going to give him time. I'm going to give him patience. I'm going to.
I mean, we kind of have to, right? I mean, he's on 240 grand a week. No one else is going to take a punt on him right now.
Exactly, yeah. And not just that.
The best thing we could do is hope that he comes good.
Yeah. Marcus as well, I think. Marcus, he showed some flashes in that game. That there's a couple of shots I thought he could have done much better with, and again, I'm sure he will.
Ahmad and Pelestri as well. There's some bright sparks there.
That pass, let me just say it right now. The way that move worked, we were by carrying that ball and everybody moving up sharpish, right? A counter attack. But that pass from Diallo, it was just sublime.
And I tell you what, Bailly put in a performance. It's a shame he's made out of biscuits, because on his day he's probably up at centre half.
He's not made out of biscuits. He's made out of sugar glass. You know that glass we use in films. But it's a shame because I've always said, Mr. Bean, you back me up on this, bro. I've always said with Eric Bailly, I love Eric Bailly. I love his tenacity, his aggression, his craziness. You know, when he just goes on one. He's like, right, I don't care brick wall or not. I'm going through it.
He puts his body on the line as if it doesn't belong to him.
Yeah, it's like he's borrowed it off someone. Like, yeah, I don't care. These are brand new trainers. I'm going. Do you know what I mean? I'm going running and but yeah, I love Eric Bain. Like I say, it's just a shame for his injury record and with the demands of the Premier League. I mean, alone, just the Premier League alone, never mind, you know, all the cup games you got to play, the Europa League and everything else. Yeah, I think his race is run, unfortunately. So, but Lisandro Martinez, are you going to move on to this guy now, Mr. B?
Yeah, I am. Sorry, I'm just. There was a comment that FC United Forever and Rebel were talking about, and obviously,
the GAA.
They saw the look on my face. I get it now, so it drifted past me. I should have realised that they was talking.
Is that
about
the Gaelic?
Yeah.
What does it stand for? Gaelic Association.
What are you asking? You're asking me?
Yeah, you just said you know what it is.
No. I said I know what Gaelic football is. I never said I knew what GAA was. I never knew what GAA meant.
Rebel will tell us. Our very own resident Rebel will tell us what GAA stands for. And I think it's Gaelic. I can't see whether I know one of the A's has got to be association. But I don't know what the other A is. I don't know.
Oh, look, talk. Somebody's going to tell us in the chat because I know Brush. I can hear Brush not clicking on. I can hear Brush not clicking on his mouse, so he don't care about GAA. Come on now.
I ain't got a clue what's going on.
Look, GAA is a completely different sport, but what we are doing on the agenda, we've got a fantasy league going. We've got about 30 of you guys in there. So look, there's 36 in the chat. So if all of you lot do one who haven't done one, that should be an extra, maybe 5 or 10.
How many have we got so far, Mr. B, in the league?
28 we've got in the league so far.
Nice.
I've managed to register and get on there as well myself the other day.
Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So look, the more the merrier. We are going to be giving away a trophy, which I will have advertised within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, but I just want to put a warning out there, Mr. B. This is a warning, right? I know somebody who is a pro on this, and she's a very good friend of mine, right? And has been for a long time. She's got her own channel on FPL, blah blah blah. She lives in Canada. She's a great girl. I'm going to tell you who she is, right? But I'm winning this, bro. I'm going to win this league. I'm telling you right now. Clip it.
So, is that what your all that speech was about, bruv? You've got no chance. Solo's going to win it.
What? Solo? Nah. What? With them teams we saw them teams used to put out Mr. B last season.
He'll be all right, man. He's learned his lesson, man. man. Look, before we start drifting off, talking about something completely different, Eriksen and Martinez. Let me just take this off. Guys, obviously, you know what Man United are like with transfers. They suck all of the joy and all of the fun out of everything that we do. I mean, if we had signed Frankie de Jong after 2 weeks, we would have been delighted. Not all of this rigmarole, all of this hashtag Frankie's coming, blah, blah, blah. Eriksen, yeah, I know it's been spelt wrong. Don't worry, guys.
Say that.
Yeah, that was I'm sure that wasn't me talk. I'm sure that wasn't me talk. Okay, good, right. Thank you. It wasn't me, guys. It was talk. So yeah, look, we've got both of them. So we'll bung them in the double conversation because obviously they dovetail off each other here. Brush.
Yes.
Eriksen, I'm hearing that the medical's actually been done.
Okay. Again, we just long things out, don't we? So we're just waiting on confirmation, I guess. Yeah, Eriksen is a great player. Especially, I've said this before as well, especially with the experience we lost as well, with Mata and Matic leaving. I think, it'll be great him coming in, helping out some of the younger guys, intelligent footballer, understands the Ten Hag style as well. It's quite versatile, can fill in a few different positions. So happy days, just waiting for it to be done.
First things first, football. Football United forever. Don't ever apologize for anything on this channel. If you post your comments, we read them. Whether it's about Gaelic football, whether it's about
bacon.
Yeah. Bacon, yeah. Hey, no, look, talk. Let's not drift onto that. We're going to get in trouble. We're going to get in trouble by the big boss. Sorry for cutting you off. Sorry for cutting you off, there, bro.
You might have to start another stream, the bacon agenda.
yeah, the Great British Bacon Agenda. Let's have some of that. All I know is that there's eggs and milk and butter involved, and that's about it.
See, look, it's strange. It's strange the different connotations we have for bacon. I'm thinking a late night bacon show. You know, it might not be quite what you lot want to watch, but yeah, I could get down with burning down my kitchen on a Friday night. Sorry, we're drifting again. Eriksen, sorry, we sucked the life out of him. Yeah, you were saying, Brush, you rate him as a player.
Yeah, I rate him. I think he'll be a good addition. And like we say, we're just waiting for it to happen. So, you know, there's not much more to discuss really until it actually goes over the line.
I've got a little theory on that, but I'll say it to you in a minute. Talk. Eriksen.
I mean, look, as it stands right now, in my opinion, Christian Eriksen is our best midfielder that we've got at the club.
Wow.
Yeah, all day long. He's better than Bruno, in my opinion. He's much better than Bruno. Bruno is your flair, kind of magical moment, you know, midfielder who can, you know, do great things in a spur of a moment. But Eriksen is a more controlled, a more intelligent midfielder, in my opinion.
He'll just give you consistency.
Exactly. So,
but you said he's better than Bruno.
He is better than Bruno, in my opinion.
No, he's not better than Bruno.
Of course,
I mean, they're two different type of players, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. They are two different types of players. But what I'm saying is what Brush just said there: the consistency. What consistency we had from Bruno last season?
Like Eriksen will give you a solid 7 out of 10 every game.
Yeah, 100%. He's better in my opinion
than Bruno. All right, guys in the chat. Sorry, I know we're drifting off. I don't want to hear no one or two. I just need to know yes or no. Is Eriksen better than Bruno? That's it. Yes or no. I don't need no explanation. I don't need no ones or twos. Just yes or no. Is Bruno? We'll have a look at those afterwards, talk, because I'm not feeling. You know, I thought on the agenda we all had football knowledge, but yeah,
you disappoint me. How dare you? How very dare you? No, I'll tell you. Let me ask Brush. Brush, what do you think? Is it? Would you say?
Listen, I understand where you're coming from. I mean, they're two different kinds of players. There's a level of consistency that Eriksen offers me that I would like on a regular basis. Whereas with Bruno, he can have one game where he's absolutely outstanding, and another game where things aren't going right, and he gets frustrated and he throws tantrums. And you know, you can see it on the field when that happens. He just keeps trying these hero balls. And if he just simplified his game at times, I just think that the whole team would benefit a lot more.
Yeah, this is the thing about, but exactly that, though, what you just said there, Brush, is that's not what Bruno's about. Bruno is that kind of, I put it like artists, like Bruno's like a Picasso, right? Art type artist, whereas Eriksen is more like a Van Gogh, right? Do you know what I mean? Picasso was just like wild, you know, madness. Whereas Van Gogh was like the classical artist, you know, everything's proper as it should be. And it's not, I'm not saying it's a bad thing for Bruno to be the type of player he is. Of course it's not. And I do really like Bruno. I love Bruno. I think he's a great player. But like I say, in terms of the aspects of the game and the role, especially in the Premier League, I just think Eriksen's better than him. You know? Simple as that.
Okay, well look, we've got a couple in here already, talk. All right, we might have a few that agree. Okay, let's have a look. Steve Fletcher, he's not better than Bruno. Los Stella, yes. 007, yes. Eddie. Eriksen.
Facts, Eddie.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Dizzy, no.
There's Mob, no. Okay.
Sharpshooter FX, welcome to the madness, bruv. That's a
big no.
That's a big no. Before I forget, Mark Gemini, I haven't seen you in ages. It was good to have you back. I did see your name a little bit earlier on. Steve Fletcher, quality. Bruno doesn't have what's called a footballing brain. Ooh, that's from 007.
Where's that gone, Mr. B?
Look, I don't know, where did that go? 007. There it is. There it is. Sorry, there we go. What's going on?
I don't know. There you go. Bruno doesn't have Have what called a footballing brain he can't press. Okay. So all I come is pointing out some of the things.
Go look. See, there's a lot of look. We go 50-50. Oh, see, this is the one. This is the one. This is the one. Come on now, Solo. Come on. See, it's a 50. In all fairness, I think it's a 50-50 split.
It is. I think it is about a 50-50 split, and I would expect it to be that way because, like I say, you've got two great artists, you know. But it's all about opinions. It's all about what do you want that midfielder to do, you know, for the team. From your opinion, and my opinion is, I want the kind of football that Christian Eriksen can bring, which is a more controlled, you know, more consistent type of football, especially in the type of football that Eriksen is playing. I'm not saying, you know, he's going to get more games than Bruno or anything like that. No, not at all. But maybe Bruno may start to alter his game somewhat in order to accommodate what Ten Hag wants him to do, because we can't have Bruno, you know, doing any of that. What we saw last season, Mr. B, on those watch-alongs, where we worked really hard to work the ball up, and then he does something crazy and just gives the ball away cheaply. You know what I mean? And then we're on the back foot. He can't be having that.
And this is the thing. I think we live in a day and age where, you know, where people are blinded by stats. It's very possible to have a good game without getting a goal or assist. And Eriksen's one of those kind of players.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? And, you know, you hit the nail on the head there, Bush.
Before we go any further, Sierra Leone in the house.
Yo, what?
My main's anyway. Mate.
My man is a Joe. My man is a Joe.
Oh, I like the way you did. Oh, my man is a Joe. Oh, that might be my man is a Joe. Oh, I like that one. Well done.
Nice, that's a nice name.
That just flew off your tongue, but big man, welcome. Or
bonjour,
or little
bonjour.
lady. I'm
what
not
does that
quite
mean?
sure.
See what he or she says. Is Frankie de Jong coming to Man United?
Yes.
Okay. Chatting from Sierra Leone. Wow,
Yes.
Sierra Leone, man. Big up, man.
Yes, 100% definitely coming. Look, we've drifted onto the Eriksen. I'll say after this, Martinez. What's happening with Martinez? Is it something that we expect to see? Do we expect to see him on the tour? Because this one looks like it's something that's going to get done. Do you think one, it could be a double signing both days? Two, do you think that they will both get out on the tour before the Australia leg is actually finished? And three, what was my third one? Something about shirt numbers. But forget number three for the minute. Something else will come into my head.
I mean, for me, with Martin, I don't think there'll be a double. I think the De Jong thing is going to take a little bit longer. I think there's the complications now of that. Yeah, I think it's been untangled a little bit, but I think there's still a huge knot that needs to be negotiated. So I think that one's going to take a little bit longer. But Martinez, I think we could get an announcement probably tomorrow, I reckon. And then as soon as it is announced and the medical is done, I think he could go and join up with the boys. Why not? Because, you know, the other players doing it. Raheem Sterling. Who else has gone and joined?
Koulibaly's gone there as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, you know, I think it's a possibility with Martinez that he will. And I'm so excited about this player because, as we spoke about him many times on the channel, about his abilities and the type of player that he is. He's. I know he's only 5 foot. What is he? 5'9".
5'9".
5'9". Yeah, so he's 5'9". But I mean, you know what he does is. And
I'll tell you what, Talk. His aerial stats are pretty good, though. You know.
Exactly. He is quite dominant in the air, and his passing helps with when he was playing for Ajax. Him passing the ball out, you know, was what helps the attack start.
Yeah, his passing is quite integral to his game.
His dribbling as well, comfort on the ball, great at pressing as well, high value carries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a bit excited about this one. Obviously, had we, you know, been a bit more competent and moved earlier on, it probably would have been cheaper. But then, obviously, you know, with Arsenal's interest as well, I think that turned into a bidding war. Hence the final price, which I think is what, 46 million.
46, yeah.
But,
so,
having said that, though, Brush, I think again, I like to use the word value, and I think the value he's worth that to us right now as we stand. He's worth it to us. You know, if we was in a position of we're already kind of settled and established and winning and doing stuff. You know what I mean? And not so far
Yeah,
behind the
yeah,
other teams.
I definitely hear that. Yeah, it's one of
You know what I
those
mean?
where in order to kickstart this project, we have to invest a bit.
Yeah.
Even if that means paying slightly over the odds. To be honest, he's a good age as well. He's what, 24 years old. So yeah, I don't really have too many issues. Just hope
And
he
what
comes in and settles quickly.
The other thing I like about him as well is, as somebody said, he'll kick his granny. Apparently, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm down with that. Do you know what I mean? Get it. I want to see that. I want to see that aggression. I want to see that.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Wild.
You need a bit of bite. You need a bit of bite.
Yes,
I don't think we've had that since Ander Herrera's left.
Yeah, yeah, and that's going to be great to see. You know, like, you know, really putting teams, you know, putting them to the sword, so to speak, and not, you know, not giving them an inch, making them give them something to think about, and it's just going to be great. I'm so excited for the start of the season. I mean, that result in that game, I know it's pre-season and blah, blah, but let me tell you something now. I was smiling inside and out.
I'll tell you what, Talk. What got me smiling was finally seeing triangles. I could have cried.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know, the interplay.
Listen, I saw triangles. I could have cried. I was like, yeah, I don't care about nothing else no more. Give me a bit of this.
You see, that's for me. That's where Erik ten Hag is coming in such a short space of time. He's got that bit we can see starting to work already.
Yeah, listen, I'm under no illusions that the season itself is going to be very difficult, and we may even struggle at points in the league. But it's just about seeing that transition and change for me. So as long as I see that we're moving in the right direction, I don't care about anything else.
Yeah, but like I say, I think the difficult bit is going to be that that counter pressing side of the game, where when we're out of possession, we lose the ball. You know, how we go back after the ball and win the ball back, but without losing our sort of, like I always say, losing our attacking shape. You know, too easy.
Yeah, I think personnel is very important to that as well. So, you know, we need one or two arrivals to help out with that change.
Yeah, man.
Question for you lot. Question for you guys. This is me with my cynical head on. We've got a new kit launch on Saturday. Do you believe that I have a feeling that Eriksen and Martinez are both going to be unveiled on Saturday or Sunday to coincide with the new kit launch. I just think that's how we do.
Oh yeah, that would make absolute sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather that at least one of them be announced as soon as possible, because it just, you know, even though we know that it's more or less there and it's done, you know, you just want that here we go, don't you, from Fabrizio? You know, that's so, like, Fabrizio now is like Father Christmas for us, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
You know, he's a tapping artist, right?
Of course. Well, yeah, I believe so. I mean, I don't know enough about the guy, if I'm honest, but all I can say is he's never let me down personally. I've never seen him, you know, come out with something like.
You don't miss open goals, mate. You don't miss open goals. Look at Colin. Look, this O'Connor. See, I always get O'Connor. This is what we want to hear. Come on now. Come on. This is what we want to hear now.
What is he saying? Is he saying that that's something that he's seen?
No, he's not.
How dare you?
There would have been more than him in the chat talking. They would have been, we would have had big hits.
Okay. I'll let you off, Colin.
What was the next? There was another point that I
had. Shirt numbers?
Yes, shirt numbers. Do you feel that these players will take any shirt number coming? Obviously, Martinez coming in. I'm not sure what he wore at Ajax.
I'm not too fussed about this one.
This is the problem with this. Is why I should write things down. Martinez, if our defense plays, obviously for that price, I think he's going to start. He's looking to start. If our defense steps up, when I mean steps up, I mean it performs to a level that we wouldn't have expected. Can you see him playing in centre midfield? Question for both of you guys in the chat as well.
Yeah, I can definitely see him playing as more of a DM if the centre backs we have do their job. Because I think now Maguire is staying as captain, right? So you'd assume that he's starting.
Why? Why does everybody say this? If you're the captain, it's an extra responsibility. But surely, if your performances are are as bad as they were last season, and we had a manager who didn't have the balls to drop him. Surely, captain or not, I don't think he should be treated like everybody else. And if he's formed them, he
Oh,
should be dropped.
absolutely. But at the same time, don't you prefer to have a starter as captain? Like, why would you keep the armband on someone who you plan on rotating?
He's going to start. I mean, for me, Harry Maguire, yeah, of course he's going to start. He's if he's fit and he's playing, he's going to start. But obviously, again, as we've heard Erik ten Hag say, in a roundabout way, if you're not up to it, then I ain't going to pick you.
Yeah.
So we are going to soon see, after the first few games, real competitive league games, where this lies then with Harry Maguire in terms of his position, etc.
And then with Varane, it's always just been a question of fitness.
Yeah. So, but in terms of your question, Mr. B, with Martinez, look, it's a case of rotation. You look at like Frankie de Jong's a great example. Frankie de Jong would, he would either drop back and fit into a back three, or he would move forward into that DM role, or he would drift over and go to the left back. So Martinez, depending on the shape and what we're doing at the time when we're doing it, if he needs to, and he reads the game correctly, and it's the right moment to do so, he could very easily move higher up the pitch into that midfield role. But to be honest, I think early on, I don't think we'll see that just too early on. I think he will be there in a sort of back two, so to speak. Because I think we are looking at, as we set off in that game, the shape we were in was the 4-2-3-1. And, at times you look at it and it was kind of changing somewhat. But I think overall, Erik ten Hag will be looking at the 4-2-3-1, but with one of those two at times becoming a single pivot and the other one moving up the pitch to help out and bump the numbers up. So, and again, but it all comes down to the opposition who we're playing. We're not always going to need to have the same sort of lineup against every team that we come against, because let's have it right. There's going to be some of the teams that we're going to go to or come to us who are just totally going to park that bus up. You know what I mean? And then we're in a different type of football, aren't we? Then we've got to break down, not kind of go up against a team that are going to try and play you, and afford you some space. We've got a team here who's just going to say, right, yeah, no, just get through this brick wall. You know what I mean? So I think this is why we have to have these options there, so that he can pick and choose who to play against who.
Right. Well, look, before I go any further, it's been a long time. Good to see us.
Welcome in the building.
Welcome, dearie. Welcome. We're gonna drift on to the presser today with Cook. Can you just do me a background banner for that, please?
Sorry, what's that? Sorry,
could you just do me a background banner for that for the press conference, please? We got one up. Yeah, we got an ALB on there. Could you just change one for me for Rashford so that they know what we're talking about if they tune in late?
I was wondering what you was meaning when you were saying that.
Sorry. Rashford press conference. I'll be honest. I've got that whole I love all of my Man United player feeling. I'm glad I'm not as mad as I was towards the end of last season, although it did numb me. But seeing Rashford sitting down there smiling, seeing Martial sitting down there smiling, seeing Harry Maguire in training, seeing Fred smiling, that's what Man United do to me. I tend not to stay too upset with them too long, but the press conference today was nice. A couple of points, obviously. I don't know if you lot have all seen the press conference as well, if there's anything that you lot want to refocus on or pick up on, but it was just the fact that he said there was no injuries in the squad. Firstly, I'm very happy that I'm more happy that Varane's not breaking down. That's my fear, that he doesn't play enough games for us this season. He said he's taking pre-season. They're going to take pre-season seriously. They want to win all of the games, but he understands that the team has to develop again that winning mentality that he's instilling in them. So he's a new manager. Fine, they've just come, but he doesn't. I think he's set he set the bar where he doesn't expect the players to drop too low. He said it was good to play different teams rather than the regular Premiership teams. Obviously, you know, we've got Melbourne, we've actually got Crystal Palace and Villa in that little period there. This is the part that really got to me, and I suppose we can break this down a little bit as well now. Looking for every part of the team to have productivity and the players to take initiative with and without the ball. Obviously, we talk about his formation, but I think what he's done, I think he's given the players a framework which they're able to work in. And then obviously whatever they do maybe doesn't affect the balance. Obviously, if they're losing the ball a lot, it's differently. But if they do everything that he wants or he suggests, maybe that freedom is where we're going to see, you know, the individual flair, that long pass that you lot keep saying that Bruno Fernandes isn't going to make and only Eriksen can make in our team.
Look, the first, I want to just rewind slightly to what you said about what Ten Hag said in the presser, which was about the developing the team. So you see, when you look at that a little bit closer, he's not said develop the players. He's developing the team, and that's most important. So that tells me that he's here. This is him now. He's giving everybody that opportunity so he can put his starting 11 together. What he's wanted his starting 11 to be come the first game of the Premier League season. You know what I mean? So if he would have started talking about players, you know, developing the players, which he didn't, you know, that's a different ball game altogether, isn't it? So I think with everything that we've seen in that game, it's going to be, you know, he's got some his own questions to ask himself, hasn't he, Ten Hag, with some of these youngsters, you know, whether they actually do get into the squad for the start of the season, because they've certainly made a mark in what they did in that game, and there's more games to come for them to do more as well. So I just thought that was an interesting point for him to make.
The exciting thing is for our young players is that this is a coach who has a proven track record of developing and giving chances to youngsters. So they will all be very excited to get out there and show what they can do.
Yeah, and that's, you know, I'm excited as well. I really am.
Yeah, I'm hoping a fair few of them can establish themselves to a point where they make the squad this season. Like, obviously there'll be rotation options opposed to actually breaking into the first team, but just to have that integration, it will be really nice.
But sorry, Mr. B, the bit you said about the players taking the initiative and stuff, I think that's a bit of sort of risk to reward factor going on there. You know, you've got to use your footballing intelligence and read the game, what's going on in front of you, you know, with your movement as well, and how you're using the space, etc. And also identifying what the player who's in your space, you know, what have you got over that player? Can you easily skin him? Can you easily meg him? Are you stronger than him, etc.? And this is, I think, the kind of things that Eriksen is talking about, because
decision making.
You know, exactly.
Being able to make the right decision at the right times. Are you picking the best possible pass?
Yes.
Is it the most efficient?
Yeah, that's key in it, because obviously there's we know with the sideways and back passing, we're like, no, we don't want to see that. However, there will be times in games where even Manchester City do it, Liverpool do it. There's times when that has to be done in order.
It's all about seeing what's on and weighing up the risks. Yeah,
exactly. And I think, like Diogo Dalot, for example, you know, if he comes up against a player that is not as strong as him, you know, he can think to himself after a couple of attempts, getting the ball, facing up against the player, working him, reading him, and going, right, okay, I think I've got the edge on you. If I protect the ball, you know, on my right side and shield you from the left, if you're trying to come across me or get round me, I've got enough. I know I've got what it takes to keep you away, and I can get past you. You know what I mean?
Just to touch on the comment that's on screen now, Talk. That'll be the first real test, which really shows us, you know, the levels and where we're at with it.
Yeah, and you know what? That's on the 20th of August. I mean, we're so looking forward to that. But I think this time round, is that at home or away? I can't remember.
Talk, don't, please. Don't.
I'm not going to give no scores. I'm not going to give no scores.
Okay.
But when is that away? Is that away or at home? Is that away at home?
Is it really going to make that much difference after what they did to us last season?
Of course it is.
No, it doesn't.
No. This is where you can't. No.
4 and 5. 4 and 5, bro.
Hold the phone. Mr. B, hold that phone for a second. Last season was like, forget last season, bro. Now, last season doesn't exist, in my opinion. It's gone. This is a new season, right? It ain't going to be the same type of game. I'm not saying we're going to win or beat them, no. But I'm saying it's not going to be an easy game for Liverpool. That's all I'm going to say.
I would like to think it wasn't, because as I said, it's a long way from the stadium to that river.
It's a home game.
Yeah, home game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So moving on. Klopp said, one of the reporters said that Klopp said he struggled with the man marking system that we used in midfield. Ten Hag replied to that was, we only man marked in certain times, but he wants us to press all day. He said, even if the team drops deep, he wants us to press. That's paramount. Again, he's instilling discipline early. And the fact that Clippity Klopp is already taking it upon himself to suggest that they struggled with the man marking system, I think is a good indication as to what they've been doing in the last 2 weeks. Just your thoughts on that, gentlemen, please.
Mr. B, can I just cast your mind back to watch-alongs, me and you? How many times did I say, why are we not marking the options here? Why are we not going after players and marking them out of the game? And because if you do that, if you go, and I'm not saying every player to do that, because obviously that's not, you just can't do that. But in key areas, you have to mark options. So it causes the person on the ball to have to think quickly, and it also gives them that thought of, well, wait a minute, if I play this ball here, it's not a guarantee that it's going to reach you and playing it to, because the opposition player is right there with them. So that it's a 50-50 then. It becomes a 50-50 rather than 100% if you're standing off them like we were last season. And that is one of the things I'm really pleased to see that is now being brought into our game, because it just causes the opposition to have to rethink what they're doing. And even if they try to move around and change their shape, right, they can't, it just won't work because we'll stick with them. And then notice in that game, a lot of the times when we were doing that, it was 50-50 balls, or it was going out over to the wide area, right, which was not really progressing the ball. So we were limiting their ball progression, which for me is brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
I'm with Eddie on this one. Sorry, his point about looking forward to the Liverpool game, like a scary movie, watching under the covers. Yeah, that'll be me. That'll be me. It's always one of those where you get butterflies in your stomach. You look forward to it, but at the same time, you're quite apprehensive as well because you know what can happen. I agree with Talk with regards to the midfield and what you were saying.
Midfield, talking to midfield, he also mentioned Donny van der Beek on his best position. He said he can play deeper, but he said his best position is closer to the centre forward, closer to the striker. Is that a kick up the arse to Bruno? Question for both of you.
Brush. Go on, Brush.
Yeah. For pretty much the same reasons that me and Talk discussed earlier when we were discussing Eriksen.
You know what? I had it on my list, man. I knew what was coming, man.
I would like us to think back to that horrible Watford game last season where Donny was the bright spark when he came on for 20 minutes and had the freedom to push forward. Hopefully that's what we'll see more of under Ten Hag.
Yeah, again, he's
a very intelligent footballer when it comes to that 1-2 touch passing. Yes. And just understanding, reading of the game. He just needs his teammates to be on the same level vision wise and to anticipate certain passes, because I saw a few clips as well of him last season where he was getting into positions and people just weren't passing to him.
Sorry, I've just seen that comment. See what happens when you talk about baking cakes. The roses are coming. Oh dear.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I cut you
I
off.
agree
Sorry.
with though. I agree there, Brush. 100% agree. And again, you know, let's cast our mind back a little bit to what one of the comments that Ollie made, which when he's asked a certain question about the squad, and he did mention you need, if you're going to compete, you know, in all these competitions, you need a large squad. So again, you know, with the Donny van der Beeks, with the De Jongs, with the Brunos, with the Eriksens, with the McTominays, with the Freds, and some of the youth players as well, we are going to need a big squad in order to, you know, help us maintain fitness, etc.
Absolutely, and squad depth is the key to fighting on all fronts.
Yes. So I'm not too concerned. I think to be fair, as it stands right now, you know, we kind of got a bit of an embarrassment of riches in terms of options in the. Of course we have.
No.
Yes, we have. Mr. B.
No. You
hold
say
on.
embarrassment. Where's the embarrassment of riches?
All right, Christian Eriksen.
We don't
Frankie
have.
De Jong.
We don't
have him. We have him. It's happening.
No.
Oh, Mr. B. You can't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
Listen. Look, right?
All right.
Anything
when they arrive,
go wrong.
then.
Thank
right,
you.
I'll rephrase it. When they arrive, we will have an embarrassment of riches. How's that?
Okay.
Oh, see, this is where me and you differ, talk, because in my head I'm thinking if they arrive. Until it gets over the line, I'm not convinced. I'm not gonna. Yeah.
Thank you.
The only one.
Until they're doing this with that new badge. What's their pose?
Yeah. Or kissing
with the new badge. Better. Yeah, kissing. Yeah. Then it's not going to happen.
Listen, the only one that as it stands, that I'm kind of on the fence with is De Jong. That's it. But the rest, Eriksen, in my opinion, is done. Martinez, in my opinion, is done. Right, and we already know we've got all the other ones that I mentioned about because they're already in the team. So it's all good.
Rashford. He spoke to a little bit about Rashford. What he did say was he's enjoyed his 4 weeks off, saying it's not something that he's used to. Obviously, he's normally playing for England. He said it's the first pre-season where he's been able to play actually from the start, and he's actually feeling the difference. He just spoke about being the better version of himself. He was also asked about the negative criticism from last season, and he made a quote about saying it was easier to make mistakes in a winning team, maybe because it's covered up a little bit more. He did also in that little statement go on to saying that they played Liverpool, they made a lot of mistakes in game, but they won. Stating that obviously it shows there's a lot of room for individual improvement, which is only going to benefit the team. Rashford's come back in. Obviously, he's the poster boy for Manchester United. Do you think, one, he should be talking up? And two, do you feel that we're going to see anything like the old Marcus Rashford this season? Start with you, Brush.
You'd like to think so. I mean, he absolutely had he hit rock bottom last season. It was atrocious, if we're being honest. And yeah, he looks like a player who's trying to find his way back. I think he just needs to strip everything back to basics and get back to what he knows. The club have been putting out loads of little clips of him training and hitting the gym and stuff. He's saying the right things now, but we need to see it in action. So yeah, I'm keen to see a few more games this month in pre-season and hoping he can find some sort of form.
Talk.
Yeah, I mean, look, last season it wasn't just Marcus Rashford, was it? The whole team were lost. They were just all over the place, dizzy. Being pulled this way and that way, manager here, manager there, this philosophy, that philosophy, this formation, that formation. It was all over the shop. So I think everything that had gone before that also did not help in Marcus Rashford's position.
Oh, the other thing as well, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hated seeing him on the right hand side.
Oh yeah, he's totally ineffective on the right, in my opinion. It's not his position. For me, he's either left, or if he gets the opportunity to play it,
centre.
So
you said it, talk.
Listen, I've been saying it for ages. I've been saying it for ages, bro. And I'm big Marcus Rashford. I know Monday won't have any of it because me and on Monday, when I said it once, Monday just went like, what? This change in his face. He was like, what? Did you just say that? And I was like, yeah, because I showed again. I wish I still had it to show. I probably have somewhere, but I just can't find it. But the little graphic of Marcus Rashford's goals all look like from a centre forward. Bam, centre of the goal, right in front of the goal. A couple from the left, maybe one from the right. But all the others were smack bang in the middle. So I think with all this stuff he's been doing fitness wise, I think he's cleansed his mind also because of what happened in the Euros. I think I would be confident in saying I think he's over that now. I think he's, come to terms with it and sort of got to grips with what happened in the final. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't any of the lads' fault who played in that game, who took penalties and everything else. It wasn't. It's not. If, as I said once with somebody who took a penalty and missed or a shot, if they feel in that moment that is the best thing to do, you have to do it. You can't. Once you start questioning once you start second guessing yourself, you're in trouble as a footballer. You can't do that. If you feel that's right, I'm going to whap this, I'm banging it, wallop, and you do it. If it pays off, and you score, great. But if you don't, so what? It's not such a big deal. There will be more chances, but the fatal error is like I said, is second guessing yourself.
Rush, anything else to add to that?
One thing that I've criticised as well is his decision making. His decision making has been terrible over the years, but this is a problem that he's always had. So hopefully Ten Hag can help him with that as well.
Actually,
I just think when he gets the ball out of his feet quicker, it always works out better. And the more time he has on the ball, he always does the wrong thing.
I was just going to say, that's one of the things that I will give OMONDI credit for, because and I do agree with OMONDI when he said, if Marcus Rashford could just slow his game down, just slow it down a little bit, right? Don't get too ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, like it's to the point where in training, like I'll just have a word with him. Just, Marcus, I need you to treat this like it's a ticking time bomb. Just get it out your feet. Don't think too much about it.
Yeah.
What we on? Oh, my list. Ten Hag on Sancho. He didn't mention Sancho per se, but he said the club are good on the left-hand side, but need to make more chances on the right-hand side. It wasn't word for word, but that's what I'm gauging. He said you need weapons left, right, and centre. Obviously, we know that our left-hand side is good, whether it was Rashford and Shaw, even Martial did a job on the left. I feel that he is trying to focus on the right-hand side of the pitch, which makes us less predictable. Thoughts on that, guys? Obviously, there's a fault that he's seen that we've seen for ages, so he is doing his job. Anything that could be done with the players that we've got?
I think where he's coming from with this is for Ajax. When he was manager at Ajax, they were left side heavy. No two ways about that. So I think what he's recognised here is that in the Premier League, with it being somewhat different to the Eredivisie, that he is going to have to balance that up. He's going to have to balance that up. And like you say, we're clearly okay as it stands on the left-hand side. The right-hand side is Jadon Sancho. It's that relationship between him and Diogo Dalot and whoever is on that right side of the two to be helping out. If you're gonna get a cross and out number on the side, 3 versus 2 or 2 versus 1, depending on what the opposition is playing, you need that other one, i.e. Diogo Dalot, to be giving more. And this is we've been talking about this for a long time with Dalot. Is he good enough? Can he do this? Can he do that? So I think this is what Diogo Dalot needs to focus on in his game. He's been able to be a bit more cuter, as I was saying earlier about the things that I talked about. Him eyeing up players that he's coming up against and recognizing where the weak points are. Do you know what I mean? And going, right, I know I can have you on this point or that point, right? And then communicating that with Jadon Sancho and doing. I mean, as strange as it sounds, as a footballer, you've got to do your own work on the opposition. You've got to go and watch matches and watch what they're doing, how they do it, what are they comfortable with, what aren't they comfortable with. And that's one of the things, going back to Fergie's days, that Ferguson was great at, was identifying at half time what's their weak side here, where's their weak point, and then we found out that what that weak point was, and you then go out and put pressure on it. And we all know if you put pressure on a weak point, it's going to break. So again, if Diogo Dalot can actually get a little bit more out of his game in terms of, I don't know if it's a physical thing or a technical thing. I think it's more of a mental approach here to the game. You know, understanding and reading it, like I said. And I think if we can fix that with Diogo Dalot, I think he's more than good enough to be able to play that role and help out on that left-hand side. But then the other question comes. Sorry, right-hand side. But then the other question comes, if it's needed, the right-sided player of the two is, as it stands, Scott McTominay.
Oh Jesus! With that brush, anything else you've got? Anything?
So, just to piggyback off of Steve's comments here, I took it to mean that this could be Ten Hag's way of hinting that he would like Anthony. But again, it comes back down to all of our business being held up, So yeah.
Big up Rico S, Ajax fan.
Ajax fan, yo.
Yeah. I cannot read that talk. God,
I'll read it, bro. It says Ajax fan here. Ajax for sure wasn't as imbalanced as Man United on the right side, and the Mazraoui Anthony tandem was fire. Yeah, so there you go. So
welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel, Rico.
We showed interest in Mazraoui as well, but we were too late to the party, and he had already agreed terms with Bayern.
Yeah, I mean. But I think the Anthony thing. I think this season, I think is a no-go for us. I think.
Yeah, the money they want for all of their players now is just a bit mad, isn't it?
I think. Do you know what they could be? I mean, look, and I don't blame them. To be fair, Ajax, they're looking at him. He's looking at himself for the World Cup. He knows himself. His stock could go up like tenfold if he has a great World Cup. So,
and the thing is, they're under no pressure to sell now. They've already sold enough. They don't need to balance books or anything. I mean, they're in a very comfortable position.
Yeah, and he's going to be a vital player for them next season for Ajax, and gives them time to sort of build around him.
And you're bang on their talk. If he has a good World Cup, then his stock just skyrockets even further.
Yeah, 100%, bro, and that might price us out of it.
we're talking about stock skyrocketing. We've been talking for a very long time. I've got another show that I need to start and shut down. Look, we're going to drift on to he mentioned his final point of his press conference. It's just a statement, really. A man, one of the reporters asked him about Cristiano Ronaldo. It was nice that it took so long for his name to come up, which means that we're concentrating on our team and the players who are actually there. But he made a statement and said, nothing's changed. He said Cristiano Ronaldo made a statement and nothing's changed, and his face was dead serious. I love that. I love that. I
mean, on the Ronaldo front, all the rumours that are coming out now that his agent has been sort of touting him out to left, right, and centre, but nobody's biting apart from a club in, was it Saudi Arabia? I can't remember.
£210 million over 2 years. He would have got paid £2.2 billion a week.
Yeah, it's crazy money, but obviously, he's not. Why would he do that? He's not going to. No, he wouldn't do it.
He's not ready for that yet. He can still do a job. He can still do a job.
I think and apparently it's come out that Thomas Tuchel has put the kibosh on him going to Chelsea. Apparently, now whether Thomas Tuchel has got the say over Ted Burley is another question. Because it seems to me that Ted Burley, he's done some great business. This guy has come in from whatever sport it is in America that he does. I don't know too much about him, but he's come into this now. They lost Grabinskaya, Marina Grabinskaya, who did great for them. And now he's come in and gone, right, I'm the man here. I know what I'm doing. And it's, to be fair to him, you've got to give your old hands up and say he's done a great job so far. He may well overrule Thomas Tuchel on this, which will be interesting to see how that works out. Because if he does so and says, no, I want Cristiano Ronaldo in this team, how is that going to affect the relationship between Tuchel and Ted Burley?
We've seen this before, haven't we? It happened when Roman brought in Shevchenko when Jose didn't want him. Yeah. And, Jose just didn't end up using him. It's a bit of a mad one. But yeah, like you say, Todd's a businessman. I'm sure he will look at the marketing aspect of what Ronaldo would bring to the team.
Okay, so
yeah, how it works out with Tuchel, I don't really know, to be fair.
let me ask you this. And put this back to you. Would it be a possibility for Thomas Tuchel to go and speak with Ted Boehly and say, okay, listen, you want Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't think he's going to, in the league terms, especially game in, game out, it's not something that I think I can make work. However, what I think I could make work is when it comes to the Champions League games, which is obviously what Cristiano Ronaldo wants. Do you think?
I'll tell you what though, Talk with Raheem Sterling in there now, you know, he'll put it on a plate for CR.
Of course he would, yeah. No two ways about it. But would Ronaldo be happy to say to come to an agreement where he says, okay, look, if Tuchel says to him, listen, you're not going to be a starter constantly all the time in the Premier League, but when it comes to the Champions League, you're the main man. Would that make Ronaldo happy?
Probably.
You know
If you can, if at his age now, if you can, that's the best you can hope for, really, isn't it? To give him a chance to win the Champions League again.
Yeah.
Look,
if he stays, happy days. But if he goes, I'm not too fussed.
Either way, I'm not too fussed.
I'm hearing Champions Leagues. The only league that's worth talking about, guys, is our fantasy league. The code to join our fantasy league is 1CZLY1. It will be posted if you've missed it. It will be posted up again. We've got nearly 30 in the group.
Mr. B, what's the is it fantasy.premierleague.com?
.com. That's the one. fantasypremierleague.com.
Because what happened, folks, is when we first put it out, that they put a dot in between fantasy and Premier League. So you have to put fantasy.premierleague.com. Then
if you're lost, people, just go on to Google, just type in Premier League fantasy football. It will come up.
Yeah. And get in with everyone else, because there's going to be, I think this is going to get to 50 plus, Mr. B, in my opinion, this league. Whether everybody will see it out to the end, I'm not so sure, but somebody's going to get their hands on a really nice shiny trophy with their name on it.
Does it come with big ears? Does it?
Yep. It's got big ears. It's got everything. It's all singing, all dance. It's got lights, music. There's a little mini rebel that will pop out of the top and say top of the morning to you. And all sorts of madness. Or have I got that bit wrong, Rebel? I can't remember if that actually true. I'm only joking. But no, it's a great little trophy, honestly. And I'd be so pleased to win that. I really would. I'd be made up. I tell you.
I've got a plan to make sure that I actually win, but I'll save that for the takeaway. Really? Our takeaway chat tomorrow. Talk. Yeah, but look, guys. We've been talking for 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Nice.
Obviously, the meat is running down. Brush, as always, man. I love when you're on, man. Where can we find you, big man? Where can we find you?
You know what? You can just find me here on occasion, and usually in the comments.
Brush, that's what I like to hear, man.
Outside of that, I'm on Twitter at Brushy87, all capitals.
Talk. I'm not even going to ask where I can find you. I'm just going to tell you thanks for
no worries, bro.
Easing me back into this hosting malarkey. We will be back on tomorrow. Talk. You doing something tomorrow for 11:05, no?
I'm just looking into that as it stands, and if I am, I will put something
up. No problem.
Yeah, we'll get something up. I just got to check a few things, because obviously with my work and stuff like that, I can't. You know what I mean? But I'm hoping so. That's for sure. Right. And just keep your eye on the channel, folks, and also our Twitter. If you follow us on Twitter, then you'll get the thumbnail will be put out to say that we're live, or we're going live with the watch along against Melbourne Victory, which Nani is going to be playing in. So that's going to be interesting to see. Will he be playing though?
Yeah, he'll play. Of course he's going to play. He's fit as a fiddle. Of course he's going to play. Look, guys, tomorrow, 8:30, there will be a show. There may be a watch-along show, and obviously we'll be here on the takeaway at 10 o'clock. This has been me, Mr. B, TalkMU, my partner in crime as always. Thank you very much. Brush, I said we don't do this enough, man, but I'll when the season starts, we'll get you back on. All you guys in the chat, too much to mention. If you are still watching, please make sure that you hit that like button. As I said, Rico, big up, man. You didn't have to be here, man, but you are. If you subscribe, appreciate it. We know you're an Ajax fan. If not, listen, we'll see you in we're going to say we'll see you in the Champions League. Don't. We'll see you in we'll see you when we see you, man. Guys, as I said, look, you know what, appreciated. I'm trying to find this thing to end this bloody show. Here we go. Right, I've got it. Guys, thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciated. And I can't find it, Talk.
I'll do it.
Thank you, brother. Cheers.
Right, folks. Big up. Take care and stay united. Ciao.